7 of the Devil Wears Prada 2's best outfits, wearable, camera ready, and perfect for women over 50. I'll break down each one, what works, what doesn't, and how to wear the trend for your real job without looking like you raided a costume department. So the movie's been out. The reviews, they're a little mixed, but the fashion does not disappoint. However, unless you work at Runway magazine, you're probably wondering, how does this fashion work for me at my real job? And if you're a professional woman over 50, you've got an extra filter running because some of these trends seem to be designed for a 20-something assistant, not the woman who's actually running the meeting. Look, I know there's a lot of fashion commentary on this film, and most of it is, I love it, I hate it, here's why. But I'm asking a different question. Because most professional women today have some combination of work that includes in-person and remote virtual meetings. So I'm going to look at each outfit in terms of, does this work at a real job? Does it work for women over 50? And does it work on camera? I'm Julie Hansen, and I've spent years helping professional women look and feel confident and powerful both in person and on camera. If that speaks to you, consider subscribing now and join this community, and we'll together discover how to look and communicate our best on camera. Okay, so let's dive in and look at 7 outfits from Devil Wears Prada 2 and break down whether they are wearable in a real job, whether they work on camera, and how you might wear them or adapt them if you're over 50. So Andy Sachs has clearly dialed up her style game in the sequel. And this unstructured suit of differing shades and textures of navy is a good example of a style that's fairly accessible to most women in most ages. It also proves to me that navy is, in fact, the new black. Navy is just as sophisticated and professional as black, but it tends to be more flattering for women, especially as you age, and doesn't have all the flattening effect that black tends to have. Now, I've switched out the tank underneath so that it's a contrasting shade of blue. And if you're a matchy-matchy person, I can already see you twitching, but bear with me. What happens here, this is actually your secret weapon when you use a contrasting color or texture, because what it does, especially on camera, is it separates your frame from your clothes. So you can see a distinction between both layers, as opposed to if it was all the same color and texture, it would all sort of blend together and, again, give you that flattening effect on. So Andy continues to show her confidence here in this very chic, fun ensemble in navy, which is actually a jumpsuit. And it's elevated by some embellishment around the neckline and the sleeves. Now, you may or may not be a jumpsuit person. I, for one, think it's way too much work to get completely undressed every time I have to visit the restroom. Another consideration is that as you get older, the fit is often a little clunky. It starts to sort of gap in places you don't expect, and it can feel uncomfortable and as well as look a little less polished. But the real secret here is the embellishments. So embellishments are one of the smartest fashion moves you can make if you're over 50. Because they frame your face nicely, draw the eyes upward, and they add polish and eliminate totally the need for jewelry. And on camera, they can do double duty because they can break up a more monotone color with a little more detail so it doesn't look quite so flat and one-dimensional. So Emily is one of my favorite characters in the movies. She's always been high fashion, but she is full throttle this time now that she's with Christian Dior, logos and all. And she comes bearing some bad news. Corsets are back. She is wearing a corset-styled Christian Dior over a black and white patterned Christian Dior logo shirt. And this is where things start to get a little costumey for me. So here's the thing about trends designed for a younger demographic. While some of them may work, a lot of them can look kind of out of place professionally. And instead of making you look younger, they can often make you look older because of the contrast. It's like wearing something designed for someone else. Now, there are other ways to wear a corset. This one is actually a knit corset over a black and white pattern top, similar to the Dior, but a little more abstract. There's also a practical camera issue with the white button-down shirt. A bright white can really be harsh on camera and can wash your complexion out. Not what most of us need. So this is one of my favorite looks for Andy in the film. This pinstripe tailored vest in a classic menswear design that has a unexpected feminine touch with the pearls, and of course wearing it sleeveless is a confident statement. Now let me share with you why I'm drawn to this sleeveless vest look for professional women on camera. Vest can be a great replacement for a blazer, which often looks very bulky and unflattering on screen. So a tailored vest like this lightweight wool one gives you structure without the bulk. And for those of us who maybe aren't comfortable going sleeveless, you can wear a blouse or a lightweight top underneath, or throw a lightweight sweater or a fitted jacket over it. And you've still got all the polish of a structured layer with full arm coverage. So let's talk about Amari's look. Now, played by Simone Ashley, Amari brings a fresh, bold energy to the film. And in this look, she's sporting a sort of square neck, collared with a tie and pleated skirt look from Thom Browne. Now, full transparency, I am not a tie person, but setting that aside, this outfit seems to have one too many things going on. It's got a collar, it's got a square neck, it's got a long tie, it's got a checked pattern. So I took two elements out of Amari's look that I really like and put them together. And that is the collar and then the open square neckline. Now, unfortunately, this is a very rare combination. I searched high and low for this, and I found this little knit top in a great color. It looks fantastic on camera. I always get tons of compliments, and it looks great in person. So my hope is that because Amari is wearing this fashion from Thom Browne, that maybe someone will make more variations for us to wear. Can we just take a moment to appreciate Miranda Priestley? Because this woman, silver hair, commanding presence, presumably in her 60s, is the most stylish person in the room. And this outfit is proof. A peachy beige trench coat, a beautiful lavender top, and a bronze leather skirt. I didn't know I needed this outfit until I saw it, and now I can't get enough of it. You know, for me, this is the aspirational over 50 look from the film. It's elegant, it's confident, and it doesn't look like it was borrowed from a younger generation. So let's break this down for real working women. First of all, that trench coat is gorgeous, but unless your office is outdoors, it's not going to get the appreciation it deserves. And of course, if you're on a Zoom call, no one's going to see your leather skirt because it's well out of frame. So let's look at some adaptations. Start with a light purple or soft lavender top. It's a very flattering shade near your face. Then layer it one of two ways. First, underneath a fitted beige jacket, like this lightweight knit one for a clean, camera-ready look. Or under a lightweight leather or faux leather bronze jacket, which captures the spirit of Miranda's bronze leather skirt without disappearing below frame on camera. Either way, you get a sophisticated color blocking look that works beautifully both in the office and on screen. Now, I know what you're thinking. Gee, Julie, this dress is not something I would ever wear to my job. And of course you wouldn't, unless your job was hanging out at the Met Gala. However, in terms of over 50 style, this is a masterclass. First of all, she's not toning it down. She's not minimizing it. She is showing up proud, bold, confident, and unapologetically present. Now, let's take a look at a couple of style elements that you can also use from this look. So I absolutely love that bright, bold red of that dress. However, if you do any kind of virtual work at all, that bold, bright red can really be tricky on camera with the lights and the lenses and the screens. I recommend going with a darker red, which tends to hold up pretty true to color, and also can be a little more flattering on a lot of skin tones. Now, the second thing we can adapt from this look for our regular jobs is that neckline. And of course, I don't mean that exact neckline, but the idea of a very face-framing neckline. This is certainly a watered down version of her dress neckline, but it's that same idea of just bold elements around the neck that set your face off and bring our attention upwards. Now, if you really want to recreate that beautiful neckline on that red ball gown, you need to find a top or a jacket that has what's called boning in it. And that's really sort of like the underwire in a bra. And that allows you to adjust the different layers to create more of a 3D effect, and certainly adds a little drama to any business meeting. Either way, the principle is simple, and it's one that Miranda embraces perfectly. Find a color you love that really pops. Find something that frames your face in a structured neckline, and wear it with confidence, and it'll elevate your presence instantly. Okay, so here's your Devil Wears Prada 2 cheat sheet. Wearable, camera-ready looks for women over 50. Embellishments elevate any look and do the jewelry work for you. Soft lavender plus a neutral layer is sophisticated color blocking anyone can wear. Skip the black. Navy is softer, smarter, and far more camera-friendly. Collar plus square neckline is interesting, unique, and incredibly face-framing. Borrow the corset idea, but ditch the stark white shirt near your face. Find something that frames your face and own it completely. The vest is the blazer's more flattering, camera-ready sister. So have you noticed a pattern? The looks that translate the best, both work in person and on camera, and for women over 50, share a few things in common. First of all, they use color intentionally so that it flatters your complexion. They have structured necklines that frame your face, and they use details in a way that elevates your look without overwhelming it. And the good news is you don't need a designer's budget or a stylist on speed dial. You just need to know what works, what doesn't, and why, and how to adapt it. And if you want to get a head start, I've put together a free virtual style guide that shows you exactly what to wear, what to avoid, what necklines really pop on camera, and colors as well. Be sure to download that. It's absolutely free. I'll put a link in the comments and the description box. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and be sure to hit subscribe if you'd like to get more tips on how to look confident, polished, and professional in virtual meetings and in person. And I will see you on the next video.